Guys, I have something that I am super excited to talk about today, and that is the first ever dry treated tree climbing rope. This is Samson Vortex SD or SuperDry. This is the same as their family of ropes, all the Velocity, Voyager, Vortex. I have some standard Vortex Cool right here. And it's easy to identify the SD versions by the fact that they blend. Samson in that family has always had a cool or hot, so white and orange or white and blue. This is a blend, so you get both the orange and the blue, giving you this beautiful rainbow cover. But these ropes are dry treated, so they, I think, absorb only 5% of what this rope would absorb, and we're going to test that later. But so far, from what I found, I've been working on both of these for about a week, and this super dry version is just an absolute game changer, especially in the winter here. It's almost unbearable when we go through our transitional slushy seasons in the fall and the spring, because your ropes are just soaked every day. They're just always getting water in them, and it becomes impossible to climb on them. Because when you get to that spot where, since nylon really likes water, it's one of the main reasons that a lot of people don't like to use it, is because it'll just eat up water, and in the winter that water freezes and not only makes the rope heavier, but it engorges the core of the rope, so you're not able to rappel past that point. So that steers a lot of people away from these nylon cord ropes. But these nylon cord ropes are incredibly important because they meet EN 1891. These ones meet type A standards, which means it's able to mitigate or arrest a certain type of fall, which these are not dynamic ropes, but they're more dynamic than, say, a rope like Poison Ivy or Blue Moon that has a polyester cover and a polyester core. So especially in wet or icy conditions where you might take a little slip or fall here and there, no matter how careful you're being, it's nice to know that you have a rope that's rated to be able to catch that type of fall. And it's a much bigger fall than you would ever hope to take on one of these ropes. But that little bit of extra bounce just makes me feel a lot safer, and I think it's really important to climb on a rope, especially when you're climbing double rope and single rope, to meet those standards. Double rope, especially if you're climbing the overhand technique where you're pulling the slack out on top and then out from the bottom, if you were to let go before you had pulled your slack out, you have a little bit of a fall there. Single rope, if the one top branch that you have your rope over when you're ascending breaks, then it's going to have to catch a little bit of a fall there. And not a lot of people highlight that. They really like static ropes for single rope technique, but especially if you're throwing up really high and you have it over a branch that might break, it is really important to have a rope that's going to be able to mitigate a fall. So for anyone who's starting to tree climb and picking out ropes, I personally think it's super important to pick out a rope that can meet those EN 1891 standards, because I don't know, why wouldn't you climb on a rope that has been rated and approved to arrest minimal falls? I don't know. It's just something that's really important to me. Now, these are both fantastic ropes. The first thing I noticed differently between these ropes is the SuperDry kind of reminded me of like an extreme Samson coating that you see on their rigging ropes. They feel very slippery when you first unpackage them. And this one was coated so thickly that it feels like stiff. And I was kind of worried I wasn't going to like that. But it breaks in very quickly and the breaking in doesn't seem to affect its ability to withstand water absorption. But it does feel a lot more slippery, and it feels much sturdier than their standard Vortex, which I kind of like, because one of my complaints with when you get any kind of new double braid rope, especially a nylon cord one, is they have a very, very soft hand. Sometimes a little too soft. It feels like it gets abraded much more quickly. Once it wears in, it's fine, but in the beginning it feels like it's almost too soft of a rope. So this SD coating seems like it's going to serve two purposes very well. Primarily to keep the water out of your rope, but secondarily to extend the life of your rope by making it more abrasion resistant, especially in the beginning. But it did break in. The section I've been using all week, which is my other one, is nicely broken in, has a very good hand, not too soft, not too firm, and works really well. I liked it a lot, but the coating is thick. I'll show you some highlights from when I was splicing these eyes on these ropes. When I pulled the core out of this rope, it was incredible how solid it was. When you splice usually nylon cord ropes, when you pull the core out, it just kind of poof, just explodes and immediately unravels. So you got to like get a clip on there or something so that it doesn't just fall apart. But this rope was kind of a dream to splice when it came to tapering, because it didn't just explode when you started pulling it apart. But the downside was that when I was bearing the eye, it was very, very stiff to start with. So it was a little bit more of a battle, kind of like splicing a used 24 strand rope. But it went great, and I really like how they turned out. This is wild. This core feels like scaly, like it was like lightly dipped in super glue or something. Like it's so crunchy. It feels really weird. So really that was the only main difference that I noticed in the handling between these two ropes when it came to hand and such, is that these were a lot stiffer, almost too stiff when I first got it, but it broke in almost immediately to what I really like. So I super enjoy this rope. Will definitely be purchasing this for myself in the future, and it's different variation. These were sent to me, and I am so grateful. Thank you, Samson and Gavin, for helping me out and getting these set up. But these are fantastic ropes. But this SuperDry, this is a game changer. I've told everybody that I've been working with about it, and hopefully they'll be getting ropes like this in the future, because it's incredible what it's been doing. The ascent on these ropes is fantastic, and some of the first tests that I ran was just like what you experience in work, just like maybe the rope falls in a puddle or something like that, or there's water dripping out of the tree onto the rope. And this one did what I'm used to, the standard Vortex, where it just ate up that moisture. It just disappeared into the rope, and you could see a wet spot just flow down the rope. Whereas this Samson, it was like a nice piece of waterproof clothing. It was just, the droplets were just rolling off of it and turning into ice as they went down, and handled completely no differently. And I just threw this rope in the river before I started climbing on it. Oops, oh no. Threw it in the river, walked it back over here, and climbed up here, did some ascents on it, and just is handling like a champ. It feels dry to the touch now. I straight up threw this in the river, and it is working fantastically right now. So it's just probably one of the most important things that I've seen done with a rope. Now, it's not the first time this has ever been done with rope. A lot of canyoning and rock climbing ropes, it is standard almost at this point that they come dry treated, because it's so important for rock climbing and such to keep your ropes ice free, because it's impossible to tie knots in a rope once it gets completely soaked and then frozen. So if you're doing ice climbing and things like that, it is imperative that you get a rope that's not going to absorb moisture. But this is the first time that I know of that any tree climbing company has produced a rope that was designed for tree climbing and was completely dry treated. And it couldn't have been done to a better rope. I mean, 24 strands are like the meat and potatoes of tree climbing. So to have a rope in every available diameter that's 24 strand is just unbelievable. You got your 11 mil, you got your 12 mil, 11.7, whatever, and your 13 mil here, which I wanted to try out, which has been a lot of fun. I've never ran a rope this big as a climbing line, and it's really refreshing in the winter, because when you got your gloves on, I just wear like chopper mittens. It's really easy to hold on to because it's so much bigger. It is heavier, but it doesn't pick up any extra weight from the water, which is super, super nice. And I've also noticed this may not be true, but at least in my feeling of using it, it has seemed like this rope has milked less than this one has. It feels like the standard Vortex. I mean, all 24 strand ropes milk a lot, but this one with the SuperDry coating has seemed to milk a lot less. But it has been a great experience climbing on this rope, and now let's do some crazy tests on this thing, see how good it is at not keeping in water, and show you how much better it is than the standard version of this rope. SuperDry's up first, 200 feet of it, and This was 200 feet, but I work shorter than 200 feet, so these are two lengths that I like, but we'll weigh them together. All right, this is gonna be bad. Oh God. All right, now let's try some of everybody's favorite Yale Blue Moon. This is a 75-foot length. Weighed it this morning and we'll weigh it again after it gets soaked. This is my favorite everyday work rope, so not new, a little bit used. Actually, this is probably washing it out pretty nice. I'm gonna keep doing that. So there you have it. Isn't that crazy? This SuperDry coating is absolutely incredible. I am so excited about this. I can't wait to use more of them. And thank you again so much, Samson and Gavin, for sending out these ropes. They are absolutely fantastic, and I hope that you can pick one up for yourself soon, because man, if you work in the winter, there is nothing better that you could have in your kit, I think personally, than one of these dry treated ropes. It is the best, and hopefully they'll be making some other favorites of ours in because this is a 24 strand rope. A lot of people like kern mantle ropes for single rope technique. So even though this for me functions great in single rope, I wouldn't mind the more premium cover of something like Mercury. So hopefully we'll be seeing that in the future as some rainbow Mercury that's dry treated, because that would be really amazing. And I don't know if it would make it too stiff, because you know kern mantles are already pretty stiff, but maybe the dry treating would make it a little unbearable. But who knows? I'd love to see it, and I'd love to try it out. This rope is incredible. So far, I don't have a single bad thing to say about it. Like, literally the only thing I can think of is it's a little stiff out of the box. But as of now, it works and tends perfectly. Everything grabs on it the way I want it to, and it's just a fantastic rope. I mean, the 13 mil is going to be a little heavy for some people, so, you know, check out maybe the Voyager, the more standard 12 millimeter size. Check this rope out. There's a lot of people that have it. Pretty sure that Arb Session has it in stock, and or at least they have it available for pre-order. But this is a phenomenal rope. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. I'm inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never do shit, I know it hurts. Something